Hi everyone, welcome back to Cloud Pathway Academy. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the most important foundations before learning AWS. What is cloud computing? Before jumping into services like EC2, S3 or VPC, you must first understand the concept behind the cloud. Because if the foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier. Let's first look at how things worked earlier. Before cloud computing, companies had to buy physical servers. They had to set up and maintain their own data centers. This required high upfront investment, hardware purchase, cooling systems, power backup, physical security, and dedicated IT teams. If they needed more capacity, they had to buy more hardware. Scaling was slow, expensive, and complicated. And if the traffic reduced, the hardware would just sit idle. Earlier, infrastructure was an investment. Today, it is a service. That shift changed everything. Now let's define cloud computing in simple terms. Cloud computing is the delivery of computing resources over the internet on a pay-as-you-go basis. Instead of buying servers, you rent them. Instead of buying data centers, you use somebody else's infrastructure. These resources include servers, storage, database, networking, software, and the best part, you only pay for what you use. Let me give you an example. It is like electricity. You don't build a power plant, you consume the power as needed. This is the core idea behind cloud. Now let's understand the key characteristics of cloud computing. First, on-demand self-service. You can create a server in minutes without talking to anyone. Second, pay-as-you-go pricing. You pay only for the resources you consume. Third, scalability. You can increase or decrease the resources instantly based on your demand. Fourth is global availability. Cloud providers have data centers across the world. And fifth is the managed infrastructure. You don't worry about the physical hardware, the cloud provider manages that. These characteristics make cloud powerful and flexible. Let's understand the three important service models. First, infrastructure as a service. Here you get virtual machines, storage, and networking. You manage the operating system and applications. A good example in AWS is EC2. Second is the platform as a service. Here, the cloud provider manages the infrastructure and the platform. You just deploy your application. For example, Elastic Beanstalk. Third is the software as a service. Here everything is managed by the provider. You simply use the software. For example, Gmail. So remember this clearly. Infrastructure as a service, you manage more. Platform as a service, you manage less. And software as a service, you just use the software. Understanding this difference is very important before learning the AWS services. Let's talk about the deployment models. Public cloud. Infrastructure is shared and owned by a cloud provider like AWS. Most modern applications use public cloud. Private cloud. Infrastructure is dedicated to a single organization. It may be hosted internally or externally. Hybrid cloud. A combination of public and private cloud. Some workloads run privately while others run in public cloud. Many enterprises today use hybrid models. Next, you might wonder, why does all these things matter for your career? Because companies across the world are moving to cloud. Cloud skills are in high demand, but here is something more important. If you understand cloud fundamentals, you think like an architect. If you skip the fundamentals, you only memorize the services. Strong fundamentals create strong engineers. This is why we are building this foundation step by step. In the next video, we will start with the first technical foundation, which is the networking basics for AWS beginners. If you want to follow a structured path instead of random learning, subscribe to Cloud Pathway Academy. Let's build your cloud career in the right way, and I'll see you in the next video.